you, Katia, for that lovely, warm introduction and welcome. And I'm looking forward very much to this evening for us to be together. And let's have a minute of silence first so we can all just center ourselves and focus on giving thanks that you have made the effort and the time for your own well-being and for us to be in this beautiful gathering together. Om Shanti. So thank you for holding that beautiful space together. And if you haven't already, can I invite you to bring, if you have a journal, a diary, something that you usually write in, or some paper, and if you have some colored pens, colored pencils, and just bring them and put them beside you, because this will be an interactive process where we are harnessing courage to overcome adversity. And so there may be something that you choose to write down. And also I will be giving you a reflective exercise to do a little later. So first of all, to set the scene, as you know, life is a journey. We have mountains to climb spiritually, valleys to explore. Storms come unexpectedly to test us. So this evening, we're going to explore together, how can I access my spiritual powers of courage, determination, and hope, and be more in harmony within and without, which means also the ability to be more flexible and adjust. All of these are spiritual powers that the more that I reflect on them and practice them, then I will have easier access to them at the time when I am facing a storm or feeling like I'm in the dark night of the soul. And when I think of being the ability to be flexible and adjust, think of elastic, that you can stretch elastic and then it goes back to its original shape. And so can I also expand and contract, go within at times and know when to come back out into sound and when to go back into silence. As each of you know, we're all experiencing unusual times on the planet and in our lives at this time. And a couple of phrases that I find are really helpful spiritually is to expect the unexpected. And I put forward to you, and you will see whether or not this relates to you or it may not. And I will be giving you different ideas that you can play with. And I suggest at this time, although we have the pandemic of COVID-19 coronavirus, that actually for many years, the greatest fear that humanity is facing, long time, is fear. That fear can trap me into losing that inner compass, that inner direction, stops me accessing courage, stops me accessing inner wisdom. And so maybe make a note of it and see how it plays out as we explore together, that fear being the greatest virus in the consciousness of humanity, and leave it as a question mark. Where do I at times get trapped in fear that stops me living my life in a way that is first honoring myself and then honoring other human beings? I'm going to, I find that it's really helpful when we are in a group and dialoguing, that we have authentic communication as the support. So I'd like you for a moment to reflect. When I call out those two words, authentic communication, what does that mean for you? And I'm going to put up on the screen 4 of the main ones that I find. There are quite a lot. However, to be authentic in my communication, first with myself, then with the divine, with the highest, and then with others, I need to have respect for myself. For when I am respecting myself, then I can have respect for others. This doesn't mean I have to agree with everything that someone else says. However, it means that I see the divine within them, that they are doing the best they can in this moment. Equally, I need to keep reminding myself, I am doing the best I can in this moment. The second one is speak your truth. For each of us, that may be different. I'm talking about eternal truth. So when I go within and I check, what are my true thoughts at this time? What do I feel about whatever it is that I am choosing to share with another? Is that true for me? Or is it something that I think will make somebody like me? Then maybe that's not my truth. So it takes courage to go deep within. And what I maybe choose to share within respect, maybe it'll be different from what the family or the community or my colleagues at work expect me to say. However, when it's coming from that deep inner place of truth, then others will hear that. And it gives space for others to step into their truth as well. Listening is so important. It's the heart of communication. So can I listen with my heart when I recognize I'm a spiritual being having a temporary human experience? Then I can recognize that everyone else is a spiritual being having a human experience. And that every thought I create comes from the mind within I, the soul, the spiritual being. And the heart is connected to that, not the physical heart, which is the physical pump to pump blood round the body. That is essential for the physical body to stay fit and well. However, the heart of the soul is where the feelings are, where the emotions are. And every thought that I create within the mind, the conscious mind of I, the soul, then triggers a feeling. So the heart and the mind are combined. So when I listen with the heart, that brings out more compassion, more empathy, more kindness, more generosity. Confidentiality is essential. I will be encouraging you to share and feel free to ask questions, or there are going to be a little later some reflective questions. And Confidentiality in this setting means that whatever I hear someone else may be sharing something personal, that I do not take this outside of this meeting. I can take something that I've learned, or some insights I've gained, or some tools that I choose to practice, but not a personal story that someone shared. Okay, there are many other aspects to authentic communication, and I encourage you to leave space in your journal that later you can add to it. It's the language of the heart. It's the language of compassion. It's the language of empathy. Okay, so is there any question or any observation in this moment before I move on? I think that's...
I'm not seeing any questions, so maybe for now you can.
Okay,
wonderful.
go. So what I'm going to offer is a beautiful song. You may or may not have heard it before, and it's by Lucinda Drayton, who is one of our yogis in the Brahma Kumaris. And it's a beautiful song, and it's called Love, Peace, and Wisdom. So I'd like you to sit back and relax and enjoy this meditation through a song. And there'll be some images as well. So maybe relax the body and maybe take a few deep cleansing breaths and enjoy.
If love were a bird, I would stroke her bright feathers. Then I'd watch her fly free, cross the still of the dawn. And if peace were a mountain, we'd gather around her to bathe in her silence, her power, her call. If wisdom could sing, or golden keys.
So hopefully you enjoyed that, and my sincere apologies. Part of the challenge, as you know, in this new era is Wi-Fi can go up and down, but I hope that you still had an enjoyable experience. What I'd like to invite you now is, with your piece of paper or your journal, and use a whole page if you have, and use a beautiful bright color. And I'd like you to draw a big heart taking up the whole page almost. So draw a large heart. And inside the heart, write the powers in color, different colors. So I've mentioned a few of the spiritual powers at the beginning in the introduction that are going to help me to face adversity. And the song that Lucinda was singing, Love, Peace and Wisdom, and there were some other powers in there. So whichever powers are resonating that support you when experiencing adversity, that maybe were triggered by the song or by what I shared a little earlier in authentic communication. Write each one in a different color, and you might choose to create a symbol for different ones. So sometimes peace can be like a dove. So have fun. I'm going to give you a few minutes to create. Give you another couple of minutes to complete that. Okay. So I'm going to give you an exercise now. Does anyone need a bit more time? You can let me know. Everyone is okay? All right. So there is an exercise that's going to lead us into a reflective practice about a time when I have faced adversity with courage. And I'm hoping that these questions will now come up. Let me share on the screen. Okay. So These are here to support you in that time. And when I'm going to ask you in a moment to think of a time in the past when you faced a challenge. And this is a challenge that you came through the other side. So remember when I spoke about the dark night of the soul, or when I'm down in the valley and night is falling, figuratively, when I'm on the spiritual journey, there are times when I feel like I'm in the darkness, the shadow, and it can feel overwhelming at times. So I'd like you to reflect back to a challenge that you are now on the other side. You've come through that dark night of the soul and you're back up on the top of the mountain where you can see back and clearly what happened and know that you came through stronger. And one of the tips I'm going to give you for this exercise is to be a loving, compassionate, detached observer of self. Be a loving, detached observer of self so that you don't get hooked back emotionally into that past scene. You stay above it. Like a plane high in the sky can see down below 360 degrees view because of being apart and away and above. So I'm inviting you to do that. And the first question, and you can write down the answers in your journal or on another piece of paper you have, or on the back of the page where you had drawn the heart. Think of a time in the past when you faced a challenge. And the first question is, think of what happened. What was that scene? And the challenge might have been within yourself, being an inner critic, judging yourself, putting yourself down. Or the challenge may have been with a family member, a friend, a neighbor, a colleague at work. So, or it might have been financial, or it might have been a serious illness, or losing a loved one. So briefly write what happened. And then the second question, what did you say or do? So in that past scene, what did you say or do during that challenge? And write the essence down. And then the third question, how did you feel before the challenge happened? So before you went into the dark night of the soul, before the fear came up, before the challenge came up, how did you feel before? How did you feel during that challenge? What were the different feelings, emotions that came up? And then how did you feel after the experience, when you had come through the other side of the challenge? The fourth question, which qualities and spiritual powers did you use? Which spiritual qualities, which spiritual powers did you use to help you to face and come through and surmount, overcome the challenge? So I'm going to leave you for 10 minutes so you can really go deeper into answering those questions. And if anyone has a question about not understanding the questions I put up there, please put that in the chat and Katya will read them out to me. Otherwise, we will discuss together in another 10 minutes when everyone's had a chance to answer the question. And when you get to question 5, then it's add these spiritual qualities and spiritual powers in color to the heart picture that you originally had drawn. And then you can add any extra qualities and powers you discovered by doing this exercise. So I can give some more time if anyone needs. If you could indicate either with a thumbs up, either on the reactions at the bottom of the screen if you're finished, or in the chat, just tell me if you need some more time. I can give another 5 minutes. Does anyone need some more time? Oh, we're okay.
One second, Masana, just wait a bit.
Okay, that's fine. I can give another 5-10 minutes. So just let me know when.
Just a minute, I will ask.
Mm-hmm.
Masana, there was someone asking where they see the qualities. So maybe if you can maybe explain again regarding the qualities, where they can find them.
When you say where they can find them, because I'm talking about inside, is it that they're not sure what that means, or
it's not clear actually the question. Maybe they can clarify some more better maybe.
Because I can give some example of spiritual qualities. I'm not sure if that. Let me give some examples, and then if that doesn't answer the question, then they can maybe ask it in a different way. So some of the main spiritual qualities are eternal peace, unconditional love, and joy, happiness, bliss. And then there are many qualities that are within those main ones, like contentment, calm, stillness, generosity, kindness. So those are some of the qualities and virtues that each and every one of us has. And I only feel those when I'm at peace. Otherwise, they're the opposite. They're the negative. Hopefully that answers the question. Does anyone need some more time, or Is everyone ready? Make sure that you have added some qualities, spiritual powers inside the heart, and we'll be hearing from each other, so we'll be able to add to ours from what else others have discovered. Shall I go on? Is Katya, we're not getting any response.
I don't know, they don't answer here on the chat, but please go ahead.
Okay, all right. So what I'd like from each of us, and we're a small group this evening, so it'd be lovely to hear from each of us. And if you can take it in turns and maybe put your hand up and then unmute yourself. And the question is, what did you discover about yourself in that exercise? Was there anything new you discovered about yourself?
Masana, I'm sorry, but they cannot enter Zoom, the Italian group, they can just type. So it might be a little bit complicated because if they type, they take a long time to describe something. And then I have to translate it to you because they cannot enter Zoom because we use another system for the Italian group.
Okay. So does that mean that it won't be interactive at all?
Not really. If they want, now I ask them to type something, but cannot be so much interactive because it takes a long time, and anyway they cannot speak directly. They just can type. I don't know about the Zoom, how many are on Zoom? I don't know actually.
Well, from this, how many, Katya, do you know?
Yeah, maybe there are, we are not so many on Zoom. We are 3 maybe.
No, more. One,
We are
two,
8
three.
in total, but
Yes, right.
8 total, but yeah, maybe we can share in Zoom if someone wants to share in
Katia,
Zoom.
lasciami, I need 1 second to translate to the Italian group now. Just a minute.
Yeah.
The wonder of technology. We're all learning along. Steep learning curves. That's a challenge. Definitely.
Yeah.
Challenges.
Of course, in person is always better to share and have this.
Yes, I was really hoping we would, but I'm sure we'll find a way. Marina, I can't see. Is Marina still? Marina.
Yes.
Marina.
Yes. So someone wrote something,
Yes.
and Daya wrote that she rediscovered her strength and a lot of patience.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you. Marina, do you have an indication how many are on are connecting with you in Italy?
Yes, they are 34.
34. Oh,
Yeah. Wow. Yes, it's a quite big group. Barbara said, let me check because it's so small. Sorry, I cannot even read. Just a second. Okay, better like this. So Barbara said she learned to develop empathy, patience, and altruism.
wow. Powerful. Very beautiful. And the second question you can give them at the same time, or I think the sister answered the second question as well. How can you use these insights more in your life? So maybe it's helpful if they can answer either one or combined. How can you use these insights, what you've discovered about yourself? How can you use them more in your life? Maybe whilst we're waiting for the group in Italy to respond, is there anyone that's on Zoom that would like to share something? What did you discover about yourself? And how can you use these insights more in your life? June, Maria, Marissa, Katia, who would like to answer?
Yeah, I can start. For me, it was more confidence. I found out confidence and power.
Powerful. Thank you, Katia. Someone else, either from Italy or on Zoom. Who else would like to share something? How can you use these insights more in your life? What did you discover about yourself? Yes? Marina, you have another to share? June.
Yes, Masana Teresa wrote something.
Yes.
And Teresa wrote the innate capability to make others happy.
Wow.
And then Virginia wrote, I discovered that I'm able to surrender myself to the drama and I can work on myself.
Very powerful. Surrendering myself to the drama.
Masana sta dicendo molto potente arrendere se stessi al dramma.
It takes a lot of courage to surrender and let go.
E ci vuole molto.
And trust enough that I can tap into inner wisdom.
E avere abbastanza fiducia che possa entrare ad avere questa saggezza interiore. And then Marzia wrote, I discovered that I can believe in myself.
Wonderful, wonderful sharings. And give yourself a hug with that one. And each one is sharing, hug yourself as well, because I find it's very important when I am sharing an inner truth. Remember, authentic communication. When I'm sharing an inner truth or something that I'm rediscovering about myself, is to really acknowledge that and honor myself. Because the more that I am allowing to be revealed from deep within the heart of I, the soul, then the stronger I become from inside out. Very beautiful. Anyone?
And then there's also Cristina writing, also in the Italian group, saying that she discovered to have more clear her aims and objectives.
Wonderful. So more clarity of the mind, because when I'm lost in the fear, then I'm in chaos and confusion. And that inner critic, that inner voice is telling me I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, everyone's better than me, I'm not lovable. And so I cannot have clarity. However, when I am using courage and these other spiritual powers of patience, tolerance, then the mind becomes free again, like a bird soaring up in the sky. So that's, again, very powerful. Any more?
And then Barbara said,
Marina, now I've opened the webinar, so if you want, I can translate.
Okay, good, okay.
If it's easier for you, okay?
No, it's easier,
Yeah,
okay.
okay. Otherwise, it's a bit... Okay, so Barbara was saying that she found out that she could use more these qualities with more and more people.
Ah, so her light is becoming stronger, her inner self-confidence is becoming stronger. So her positive, powerful vibrations can touch more people. Very beautiful. Thank you. Are there any other responses? Or
For now,
We are waiting.
yeah.
and if anyone has a question that they'd like clarified, because sometimes when I am doing this inner reflective work, a question can come up in my mind. And so feel free not only to share your insights, also if you have a question around fear or challenge, please feel free to ask it.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I say in English and then I will translate it for the Italian group. Allora, ho io una domanda, la dico, la faccio in inglese e poi la traduco in italiano. I think it's a common question that is, yes, it came up to this one, but I think many are in the same situation in front of a challenge. The first thing that happen when you are in front of the challenge, or at least when I am in front of a challenge, the first thing is to go a little bit further in the emotions field. And so, as you said, I can lose easily clarity and just, swimming in the swimming pool of emotions. What could be a trick to calm down emotions as soon as the challenge is in front of me? Just a second that I want to translate in Italian. Yes, please.
Okay, that's a powerful question. Thank you, Marina. So from my experience, it's actually a number of different pieces of what I call magic, pure magic. And one is when I am choosing to meditate daily, regularly, then I am developing an oasis within of these spiritual virtues, qualities, and powers. And the key one when facing a challenge is I need the peace. I need from peace the patience, the tolerance, the humility. So if I am choosing each early morning to spend sacred time with myself and connecting with whatever each of us calls that highest, purest connection, be it Supreme Soul, be it God, be it the divine, Supreme Father, Supreme Mother, when I am taking sustenance directly from the one that does not live in a body on the earth, then I can more easily access that peace, that patience, that tolerance during the day when I'm facing the challenge, be it when the sudden phone call comes, that shocks me, or when someone says something that I experience as disrespect, or whatever it is. So that's one very important aspect. Another is that I be kind to myself. I be compassionate with myself. And so what I describe as our body barometer. So I, the soul, the spiritual being, lives in this body, which is the first costume. And the mind, when in fear, will either go into one of three ways, into either fight, flight, or freeze. Those are the learned behavior as human beings when the adrenaline is starting to move around the body, when the brain acknowledges there's a threat, be it real or perceived. And that adrenaline, my learned behavior will either be to fight it, to go into verbal, violent communication or worse, or to freeze and be in shock, or to flight, to get out away from what I perceive as a threat. And therefore, the body, each of us have a vulnerable part within the body. And so for a moment, each of you check in where, when you are in stress or fear or worry, where in your body do you first feel it? And for some, I know for me, it's my stomach. My stomach starts to contract, and then you know what gets let go of. Other people, it's the heart, it palpitates. Other people, it's breathlessness, can't catch my breath. For others, it's the shoulders going up, or the headache, or the back pain. So each of us will have a different part of the body that is most vulnerable, and where first stress, fear, worry is lodged. So a wonderful technique, which I've been practicing for years and I love to share with everyone, is when I first feel that stress coming into the body, then give myself a big hug. And so for a moment, I invite each of you, maybe close your eyes, let go of any pen, and give yourself a big hug. And as you close your eyes, maybe gently massage your arms, your shoulders, the back of your neck, and have some lovely deep cleansing breaths. Breathing in and breathing out, releasing any tension. And then see how you feel. So anyone that did that, can you tell me how you feel? How do you feel after you've given yourself a big gentle hug? How do you feel inside?
Daya sent just a smile
Ah, a beautiful
with
smile.
a yellow heart.
Lovely. Anyone else? How do you feel when you give yourself a hug?
Nancy said very better, much better.
Mm-hmm. Is there a feeling sometimes of warmth and peace that people are feeling?
Virginia is saying that she's feeling very good, and she like this, this aspects of like treating yourself like a baby, like a child.
Beautiful.
She likes those.
And another.
There is someone other saying that she feels like open to the world with humility. To be more, yeah. And Daya is saying well, and she feels well and protected.
Beautiful. I love the protected as well. I'm going to stop the feedback for a moment because there's another technique to add to the question that Marina asked. And I'd like you each to hold out one hand, doesn't matter which hand, just open the palm of the hand like that. And then with the other hand, place 1 or 2 fingers gently into the center of the palm and gently close it. And imagine you've got like a baby chick, little baby bird in there. Close your eyes. Take another few deep cleansing breaths. Breathing in and out. And then tell me how you feel.
Compassion, Barbara said. Compassion.
Beautiful. Which is part of unconditional love. And it's so important for me to be so compassionate with myself as I'm going through challenges. For then it can flow more easily for me to be compassionate to another.
Then peace, Christina said.
So I'm going to stop there for a moment. So those are 2 tools that I have found over many years. I think it's over 20 years I use. So the hug is the most important. However, if I find I'm in company with others and I don't feel comfortable to give myself a hug, maybe I'm in the middle of a meeting or whatever, I can do it in my hand. And believe me, if you've got your hand down in your lap and you open the hand and put 2 fingers in and gently close it and breathe in and out, nobody will notice. Yet you will be giving yourself that self-care, that self-love, that compassion, that peace, that humility, all of those qualities that different people have shared just now. So hopefully, Marina, that has given a couple of tips on how to bring myself back into a center when challenged in the moment. Any other question before I move on?
Yeah, there were some other saying that they felt sweetness, protection.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see one
Okay.
question for now. Yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful. So are there
Teresa said that she got emotion by this, emotion.
she got an emotion, a feeling?
Yeah.
Kind of, did she describe the feeling or say the feeling?
She got excited, like maybe she, yeah, that's the word, sorry.
Excited.
She got excited, yeah, like.
Okay, wonderful. So on the spiritual journey, in my experience, there is no right or wrong to any feelings I have. In the old world, in the iron world, the what I call the world culture and world language and culture of blame, attack, judgment, criticism. The biggest critic on the planet at times can be me, because I live with myself every moment, every minute, every hour, day, week, month, year that I am in this body. So I am the one, when I am caught in my old negative beliefs, my self-doubt, my inner critic is the one that is constantly with me when I am lost, when I'm not centered, when I've forgotten who I truly am. And that is The Brahma Kumaris, we describe it as body consciousness. When I get caught in anger, fear, attachment to old beliefs. However, this spiritual knowledge teaches me day by day to come back into all these amazing spiritual qualities and powers that we've been exploring today, so that I can be in that beautiful space of self-respect, being authentic, listening to my heart, speaking my truth, and then creating the sacred space to listen to another through the heart of self-respect and respect for the other. So it's a very beautiful dance that when I am alert, aware, and attentive of who I truly am, I can keep bringing myself back to eternal truth. And another tip is to question when I experience myself being judged by another. Ask myself, is it really true? Is it true all of the time? Or is that the opinion of another when they are in their fear, when they are in their pain and sorrow, and their inner critic, because it starts first within as the inner critic, and then the finger gets pointed out to blame and attack and judge the other. That's the old world way of playing the old game of sorrow. And now in the spiritual path, each of us has the opportunity to keep giving that self-care, that self-love, that self-honoring, coming back into my true self-respect, remembering what I've learned from past challenges to use in the present. And that is so powerful. Any other question at this time? Because I'm going to offer a meditation and then some other tools that might be helpful.
Yeah, there was Daya saying that it's very beautiful what you were saying, because often we tend to feel guilty for our own emotions. So that was
Thank you. Thank you, Katya, and for the sister. For me, guilt is wasted energy. Wasted energy. It's very much part, I observe, of the old world way of thinking about self and others, is to have guilt. And if each of you think about it for a moment, what does guilt do? How do I feel inside? I feel heavy. I feel I can't think clearly. I'm in pain. I'm in sorrow. Well, that's not the purpose of being a spiritual being in this body at this time on the planet. It is to actually come back into our eternal truth. I am light, I am peace, I am love, I am generosity, I am altruistic. So instead of being the inner critic, within that big heart that each of you have drawn and added different qualities and powers, remember, you are being your best friend, your inner coach, which is the opposite of the inner critic. So as you continue on this journey, when in doubt, when lost or confused, remind yourself, if your friend was going through that particular challenge, I am sure you would be giving them encouragement. I'm sure you'd be saying, yes, you can. Or how about, have you thought about thinking differently or doing it differently? So whatever inspiration, whatever wisdom you share to a loved one when they're going through their challenge, first give it to yourself. And I'm here to say, it is not selfish to put yourself first. The old world tells us, particularly if we happen to be women, although it may well be for men as well, that it is selfish to put yourself first. However, I know from experience, when I am taking care of healing within the inner heart and inner mind of either soul, then I become stronger from inside out. And when I am more in balance in this moment, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, then I have the capacity to be more present for each and everyone who comes in front of me. I'm not leaking my heart wound. So that early morning meditation, giving myself half an hour for taking care of myself, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, is important. And it is important to identify both the negative feelings that I experience at any time. Then I can use different spiritual tools to transform that old negative belief into, yes, I can, something that's positive in the now. I'm going to, unless, so another burning question, because I was going to give a meditation and then come back if there are any other questions afterwards.
Yeah, there was only Teresa saying that she was also feeling mercy for herself because she's very severe with herself. She doesn't appreciate herself, so she felt this mercy feeling.
Powerful. Mercy and compassion go together. Yes, I agree with you totally, Teresa. And I did many months of practice of the hugs. And even now, today, I gave myself a hug about something that I realized, ooh, it's like a little pain went into that heart of the soul. And I needed to give myself that love. And that's releasing the happy hormones. That's the endorphins. And so being merciful and compassionate with self. And when I was first practicing this technique, it would be maybe 10, 15 times a day. I would hug myself when I realized I was saying something negative about myself or thinking negative about somebody else, going back into the blame game of self or others. So can you imagine how I felt at the end of a day? If I had given myself 15, 20 hugs, no matter it was sadness coming up before the hug, at the end of the day, I was flowing with so many endorphins, the happy chemicals. So experiment with it and use it often and watch how it opens up more space for you to go back into being caring of yourself. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to offer a meditation and then I'm going to share some other tools that you can use when facing challenges. So if you'd like to sit relaxed and gently ensure your feet are on the floor. Yeah, unless you're sitting cross-legged. Hands are relaxed in the lap. Gently soften the eyes so you're not staring. The Brahma Kumaris, we have our eyes open because we use open-eyed meditation also during the day, moving around, preparing food, drink, talking to people. However, the mind and heart of the soul is connecting with the ocean of peace. So either look at the picture to the left of the screen where you can see me, or to the right of Katya, there's a beautiful picture with a point to focus on. And take a few deep cleansing breaths, breathing in. Slowly imagine you're breathing from the feet and breathe in all the way up the legs, the stomach, the heart, to the top of the head. Allow the breath to cascade down the back. Breathe in peace. Breathe out peacelessness. Breathe in compassion. Breathe out tension. Take a beautiful color. Breathe the color through every cell in the body. Bringing more flow, relaxation, and gentleness. Now gently, gently take the attention away from the physical body. The body is the sacred temporary temple for who I truly am as a spiritual being, an eternal soul. Focus within the center of the forehead. Imagine you're a tiny little sparkling star, white and bright, full of energy. And the star is sparkling with eternal peace, unconditional love, compassion, gentleness, generosity, happiness and joy. I am peace. I am love. I am learning to take care of my own well-being. I know that the mind of I, the soul, generates every thought, every feeling, every intention from within. And so I am learning how, before I choose to come into sound, I'm choosing to check within. Are my thoughts full of peace, courage, gentleness, and compassion, first for myself and then for others? And if I realize I'm in a place of fear, sadness, I now know I can take care of these feelings. I choose not to hide them. I bring them out in the light and look beneath at what is that old trap of that old negative belief telling me maybe I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. And now I know, I tell myself, I am good enough. I am valuable. I am worthy. I am love. I am peace. And for a moment, experience waves of compassion and gentleness flowing towards you. Experience inner harmony, courage, gentleness, and peace. I tell myself and remind myself, everything I need is within me. My courage, my strength, compassion, and love, and wisdom are all within me. Gently, gently, knowing I can come back to this quiet, safe space anytime I choose and be nourished and grow stronger inside out. Gently open your eyes, become aware of your surroundings, back into this present moment. Om Shanti. I'm a peaceful soul. So I'm going to read, I know we've only got a little time. I have some lovely cards here, and there's one that I'm going to read that is one quote around the power to face, which is the courage. You are powerful. You communicate feelings and needs maturely, free of fear and anger. Your respectful words liberate everyone from their tangles or from their conflict. I thought that was a beautiful blessing to give each of you this evening. And what I'd like to do is share on the screen. Let's see, I think it's this one. These are 6 tools. There are many other tools, and you will have some that you've already created from the earlier exercise. So harnessing courage to overcome adversity. And 6 tools that I came up with. 1, focus on what you can control. And the only thing I can control in this world at this time are my thoughts. So check and change. So when I have a negative thought and negative feeling, go within, identify what that block is, give myself that hug, tell myself, yes, I can. Draw on courage, access the peace that I'm accumulating morning and evening in my meditation. So check and change. Because I can't control the weather, I can't control the viruses, I can't control many things out in the world. What I do have control over is the inner mind of either soul and healing the heart of the soul. 2, create a nurturing, loving, caring and sustaining relationship, first with self, with God, then with others, based on truth, authenticity, and self-respect. 3, let go and stay in the present. The present, the now, it's the gift. So I remind myself the past is the past. Whatever happened, happened. I take from it, I learn from it. I take the gift from the past and use it now in the present. So take the lesson, but don't take the sorrow from the past and bring it into the now. Let go. 4, be your own compassionate, detached, if they could mute their mic. Be your own thank you. Be your own gentle, compassionate, detached observer of self and others. So in that exercise before, I'd invited you on the child. 5, focus on gratitude every day. Have gratitude for yourself. Have gratitude for things in life. 6, create new possibilities and opportunities through daily meditation. Create new possibilities and opportunities through daily meditation. Okay, so we're coming near to the close. Hopefully those tools, and you'll have others that you will add to it. And I ask if there's any questions or any observations or it would be lovely in the last few minutes, anything that anyone is particularly taking away with yourself that is helpful and useful. So Katya, Marina, if you could share any comments coming from anyone in this last few moments.
We need to give them the time to type a little bit.
Are we okay in going over a few minutes? Will that be okay, Katya?
Yes.
Okay.
Or maybe we take another 5 minutes and then close.
Let me check now the chat box.
Yeah, for now there are no questions. They are all thanking you.
Anything that anyone would like, in essence, in a word or 2 words, that they're taking away, that they are going to use more in their life to bring more inner peace, harmony, courage? For a particular tool that they found they're going to practice, because the key is practice, practice, bringing all of these habits more into my conscious awareness. I become stronger from inside out.
Yeah, there is Virginia saying thank you, Masana, and there are many aware points to explore and to practice, as you said. And Antonio said that there is more awareness. Francesca said compassion for herself. Virginia liked the way to live the present and to let go the sorrow, and just to keep the experience of the situation. And Marcia said to control her thoughts. Giovanna said gentleness for herself and for the other. And there was Nancy actually asking to repeat the 5th point because she had the connection went out.
Okay. So the 5th one, focus on gratitude every day. Gratitude for myself, that yes, I've got up again another day, and the breath within me, or gratitude for the people in my life, whatever it is, but always acknowledge and have gratitude.
Yeah, there is Teresa saying that she's not able to let go of the past sorrow.
So with that, obviously we don't have time to go deep into that right now. However, maybe use those reflective questions I offered before, maybe in another few days' time, maybe something else will be revealed. And meanwhile, keep hugging yourself. Keep being so gentle, so compassionate with yourself, because I find when it's a very deep wound, it takes time for that to be revealed. And so the more I am gentle and compassionate with myself, then gradually something else will be revealed. So just keep doing what you're doing, being gentle.
And Nancy said that she likes the hug in the difficult moments and the exercise with the 2 fingers in the hand. And Barbara said that yeah, to check the thoughts.
And the feelings go with it. Thoughts, because every thought triggers a feeling. So it's so important. The feelings are the key for me to understand myself more. It will take me deep into where I need to look. Second chain. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I think yeah, there are no more comments for now.
Okay.
So we thank you all. Thank you, Masana, for your very practical and inspiring points you shared with us today. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for the participation. And
Thank
maybe
you
see
for.
you soon.
Grazie a tutti per essere intervenuti. Thank you, Masana. Nice to been with you. Have been with you. I don't know in which language I have to speak now.
Well, I'm going to speak in Italian. Muchas gracias. And
Sta dicendo grazie in spagnolo perché dice devo imparare l'italiano. It's okay, thank you so much. Grazie a tutti di essere intervenuti. See you next time. Many blessings.
yes, and thank you, Marina, Gracia, and Virginia for setting it all up. Thank you, and thank you to everyone that joined in. Big love. Continue to go well in life. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Om Shanti.